They say cousins make the best of friends, especially Italian ones. Years may pass, and you may be separated by thousands of miles, but cousins are always near and dear to your heart. And that's especially true in the case of Deano and Lisa, who live on opposite sides of the country but are getting together at Lisa's place in California for an Italian feast that definitely puts the Amore in the kitchen. Next on My Family Recipe Rocks. I grew up in a big Italian family, so I know my way around a good home-cooked meal. Down the hatch. Throughout my career, I've traveled the world and tasted some of the best food on the planet. Here, taste this. That is good. Shake it. Now, I'm hitting the road across America, discovering amazing hometown cooks and their fantastic family recipes. Wow! I'm heaven in your mouth. I'm Joey Fatone. Oh my goodness. And this is My Family Recipe Rocks. Italian cuisine is, of course, one of my favorites. And we're in Southern California to make an authentic meal alongside Deano and Lisa, two cousins who grew up together but are now separated by thousands of miles. And when they get a chance to meet up, well, they make sure it's in and around the kitchen.
I love him more than anything. We're very close and we have a good time together and we both throw it down in the kitchen.
So break out the garlic and warm up that olive oil because we're making some molto delicioso dishes. All right, so I'm here with Lisa and Deano. Now, not sure if you really know Lisa and Deano, kind of Italian names, especially Deano, I think, right?
Correct.
I love Italian dishes. You guys are making some Italian dishes, is that right? What are we making?
Today we're gonna be making bacon wrapped scallops with a maple glaze.
Nice.
And we're gonna be making roasted garlic shrimp oregano with breadcrumbs. Out of this world, you'll love it, I promise.
Nice.
And then we're gonna throw it down. We're gonna make homemade pizza from scratch. So I'm gonna show you how to make the dough. Nice. And it's gonna be a nice honey garlic pizza. And then for dessert, we're gonna do a classic Italian dessert, which is a panna cotta, topped with fresh berries.
Sweet.
And you're gonna get full, so you'll be happy.
Well, come on, I'm Italian, I can never get full, all right? What's the first thing we're gonna be making?
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start wrapping the scallops. We'll get those cooking, and then we'll be ready for pizza and dessert.
That sounds amazing, guys. Let's get started. Get it on! All right, so we got the scallops. Deano's gonna tell us how to make them and what we're gonna do with them. What's the first step?
First step is we're gonna take a pound of bacon. Each pound of bacon has 16 strips in it. So basically what I did when I went to the market, I bought 32 large scallops, okay? I got 2 pounds of bacon, 16 times 2 is 32.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, most people don't. Basically what I'll do is I'll take nice fresh jumbo scallops, I'll cut them in half, I'll wrap them in bacon fully. Just you grab one, Joe. Let's see, you said you were Italian.
Yeah, get in there. How long have you been doing this? Is this something that's been in your family or something that you kind of picked up in a recipe book?
Well, my grandmother, God rest her soul, Grandma Rose, she taught me how to do this when I was a very young boy. I used to go visit her every summer, and this was one of my grandfather's favorite recipes, and she taught me how to wrap the scallops. I'll cook them to desired temperature, crispy. And then about 3 or 4 minutes before they're done, I'm gonna pull them out of the oven, and I'm gonna put just good old-fashioned maple syrup all over them, and then I'll put them back in the oven and broil them for a couple of minutes, glaze them up, and they'll be delicious. And I guarantee there'll be none left over.
So the scallops wrapped in bacon are in there in the oven, chilling. They're gonna be there for 20 minutes, but what is the next dish we're gonna be making?
Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make another grandma recipe, real quick, real easy. People will think you spent a couple hours in the kitchen making this, and I promise you there'll never be any leftovers on this recipe. And this is called shrimp oregano over roasted garlic. Over roasted garlic, okay? Not your typical shrimp oregano.
All right, what's the first step?
Okay, first step, we're gonna put about 1/4 of an inch of virgin olive oil into the pan.
That ought to grease your insides up a little bit there. One of the keys to this dish is garlic, which Deano preps in a special way, and he'll tell you it serves a very special purpose.
With the shrimp oregano and a lot of the Italian heritage family dishes I prepare, one of the family secrets, and I'm not supposed to say this because Grandma, God rest her soul, is we grind up the garlic to almost a puree. And the reason we do that is because a lot of people go and eat Italian food and they love it, and then an hour later they have like regurgitation and they're burping up garlic. With this, it will not happen.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here, Joe, is we're gonna take the garlic over.
Right.
Okay, sometimes it's easy to dump it. What I always use is, again, my grandmother's little secret. She's gonna kind of bring it all down to the bottom.
Right.
And then she told you, flip it over and get all the last. You don't want to waste any of that garlic. Go in a couple of circles, break it up a little bit, and then we're gonna do the old shake and bake trick. And do a little shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
Break that up a little bit.
This is getting my Italian juices flowing. Spice it up with a healthy helping of good old pizza parlor crushed red pepper flakes and some oregano.
That's where the oreganata comes from. We'll do a little more
Shake and bake.
shake and bake. Now, I'm gonna put this on the top shelf, and we are now gonna begin the process of roasting the garlic before we cook the shrimp.
Okay.
Roast away, baby.
The garlic only roasts for 10 to 15 minutes before you pull it out to finish off the shrimp oreganata.
So as you can see here, the garlic is still sizzling and cooking, Joe.
Right. It smells great.
Okay, and this is also one of the very, very important processes of what we're about to do.
One of the unique things about it is that after I roast the garlic and go through the process that I discussed, as the tray is sitting on the table and I'm dropping the shrimp in the oil is still sizzling and those shrimp are beginning to cook right in the tray on the counter.
Next thing we're gonna do is take only Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, not the regular ones, the seasoned
Italian.
ones.
Has to be Italian season. If it ain't, throw it out.
And then once I put the breadcrumbs,
We're gonna make it so we can't see them.
put butter in and back in the oven, couple minutes, it's ready to go.
And I'm basically gonna put butter around so the butter will bleed in on the final broiling process.
Right.
And one thing I'll say again, I guarantee with this recipe,
won't be.
there will never be leftovers. So come get them while they're hot.
Never. Ever.
Dino's a straight shooter and reminds me of the guys from the old neighborhood. The best part is he's hooking us up with the family secrets to his amazing Italian appetizers.
And once again, I guarantee no leftovers.
When we come back, Dino puts the finishing touches on these seafood treats that had me like, pow! And later, we keep the Amore rolling as Lisa shows us all the ingredients to make a homemade pizza with the help of a trash bag. When My Family Recipe Rocks returns. We're back in Southern Cali with Lisa and Dino, two cousins who pride themselves on their Italian heritage, which means they don't mess around when it comes to their food.
Guaranteed there'll be none left over.
Dino has been turning it up with two traditional Italian seafood appetizers
Bacon wrapped scallops,
and
shrimp oreganata over roasted garlic.
the scallops have been roasted to perfection. So we go back to the kitchen to finish them off, plate them up, and put those piping hot bad boys where they belong.
Are you ready to glaze, Joey?
I'm ready to glaze.
All right, so what we're gonna do now,
And here's the best part. Grab your favorite maple syrup and go to town.
drown them in syrup.
Just go for it.
There you go, baby.
Look at that, Heavenly Father.
And don't be shy, Joe. Do
go
it Brooklyn
for it.
style.
You got it.
The next and final process here, Joe, is we gotta broil these. When you broil stuff that's sweet or sugar or stuff like that, it can burn very quickly. So you gotta keep an eye on this last process. Put them in the oven. They're probably only gonna need maybe another 3 or 4 minutes on broil.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep them on the lower deck just so we don't take the chance of burning them.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're gonna go back in the oven.
When he looks at me and talks to me, it looks like he's gonna shoot me or stab me when he's telling me he's gonna cook something. I get nervous.
Dino's got that real New York vibe, but I love it, and I can't wait to dig into his authentic Italian plates. Now he puts the glazed scallops in the oven on broil for a few minutes,
Boom.
before we throw the shrimp on the bottom shelf. Just a few minutes later, and boom, dish number 1 is done. We rotate the shrimp to the top shelf, and then another few minutes, and bang! The shrimp oregano and bacon wrapped scallops are both finished and about to get served.
Remember what I told you, no leftovers,
Right.
guaranteed.
First up, the bacon wrapped and maple glazed scallops.
Look at that, just dripping, oozing. Oh my goodness. What? All right. Bon appetit.
Buon appetit,
Mange.
mangiare. Enjoy.
Boom. What? It's really, really good. The flavors of that maple syrup is like, pow, in your face. And what I like about it is, though, when you were saying earlier about cooking it, they're not overcooked at all. And neither is the bacon. Usually people don't even like where it's too undercooked, though, because of the fattiness.
not dry either.
No, it's like spot on, man.
You ready for shrimp?
You kidding me?
All right,
All right, manja.
go for it.
So good.
Now, what I want to tell you, Joey, if you can
Don't
taste,
tell me anything.
it's a totally different spectrum of taste.
Oh yeah,
okay?
no, you got the sweet. No, and you're working with
It's not too much garlic, not too much butter,
No.
not too much oil. It's got the perfect blend
It's got
of
a
all
nice
four.
hit. Unbelievable.
Pow! Coming up next, it's a pizza party with Lisa when she says goodbye to ordering in.
Why would you want to call up a place and say, hey, deliver me a pizza when you're going to make it right at home and
Yeah.
it's simple?
And we say hello to the simple steps of creating your very own homemade pizza, as well as a traditional Italian dessert, panna cotta. So forget about delivery, because we've got you covered when My Family Recipe Rocks returns. We're back with Italian cousins Deano and Lisa, who have been throwing it down in the kitchen, cooking up some of their family recipes that have been passed down to them from their late grandma. Earlier, Deano knocked it out of the park with his shrimp oreganata and bacon-wrapped maple glazed scallops. Now Lisa steps up to the plate for what promises to be another home run.
Pizza!
That's
Sweet
right.
and homemade pizza. We're going to be making the
Yes.
dough first, right?
So many people and friends of mine who don't know how to cook, they're always ordering, pizza to their house, and I just think it's such a waste. Why do you order it and, when you can make it at home
And
it's so
cheaper.
much better.
It's cheaper.
Way
It's not
cheaper.
that it's expensive.
Exactly, and tastier. You get to join everyone together. You get to enjoy your fruits of your labor, and you can have fun with it and make it from home. So we have flour. Okay, so that's like 3 cups of flour. So you can go ahead and you can put this in this bowl.
Is that in there?
I'm gonna put you to work, Joey.
You go
You
ahead.
know
You
that,
make
right?
me work, girl. Work it.
I'm a working man with the pizza dough, and I don't mind it one bit because I'm looking forward to that cheesy reward. Along with the regular flour, we add in a 1/4 cup of wheat flour, a teaspoon and a half of sugar, and a little salt, and then some trusty olive oil.
And then the most important thing right there is the yeast. The yeast is basically gonna just make our little concoction to form dough and make it rise.
It rises.
So we can
it
have
rises.
nice pizza.
It activates.
While stirring, add in some more olive oil and then get up in there with the best spatula money can buy. Your hands.
It's all about feel with this, because I've made some dough before, and the very first time you do it, you'll start to feel whether the consistency of it. If it's too loose, add a little more flour. If it gets too hard, put a little more olive oil, maybe a tad of little water if you'd like. But olive oil really kind of helps it, because you can still kind of cook it. It won't get too lumpy or
Exactly. Go for it.
nasty. Look at that.
Mash it up,
And you
Joey.
take that right there.
And some people, they'll just put like a little towel or something over
Yep.
and they'll put it away, but I like to just do my own thing and I use a garbage bag. So
Use a garbage
yeah,
bag.
and then,
Okay.
with the towel, and then we'll do it with the garbage bag. So when we take it out, we'll see it's in a garbage bag.
Okay.
Everyone has their way of properly making the dough rise, but for me, I have like an old family secret, and it's basically I use a black trash bag and I cover the bowl with the damp cloth, and I just kind of seal in the darkness, and then put it in the kitchen cabinet, and it helps it rise quicker. I just kind of figured it out and played with it, but I don't see anyone else doing it, and it rises quick, so.
So we put the ball of dough in the bowl, covered it up, put it in a garbage bag, which I like, because it actually holds it and it keeps it moist inside there. That's what it really is. But with the magic of television, because it takes 2 hours to actually let this dough rise. So make sure you have that time to prepare and not just sit there and stare at it. But after 2 hours, it should be up and on top of there. So we just rip the bag open.
Yes. And then there's the damp cloth.
cloth.
We take that out.
And there's the
voila.
dough. Look at that.
So now we're gonna get dirty. Are you ready to get
I'm
dirty?
ready to- hey,
Are you prepared?
dirty's my middle name.
Make it rain with all-purpose flour on a flat surface and you're ready to rock.
Now what do we do?
So now we're just gonna, go ahead and throw in some flour.
We turn Lisa's place into our very own pizza parlor. Che faccia? We've got our flour scattered everywhere, and now it's time to knead the dough.
The reason we need to knead the dough is, you need to flatten it out. You don't want it to be sticky, so you gotta add in extra flour, and you just gotta knead it and, roll it out and flatten it.
So how long, or how should we know when the kneading is finished?
We want to put enough flour so it's not sticky.
Right.
Right, but it can be a little sticky.
Right. If it's sticking to your hands too much, then you know.
Yeah. You want
make
to be
sure
able
it's-
to pull it apart, and then when you pull it apart, if you can see it's still a little sticky, then you want to throw in a little more flour in there. Once it's not really sticky anymore, then we can, we're gonna
Roll it
start
out.
rolling it out.
All right.
And now,
It's time to roll out.
Do you want the big stick
Whoa. All right.
or the little stick?
I'll take the big stick
So go ahead,
and roll it
start
out.
rolling it out. You need to get in there.
Flatten out the dough with your rolling pin and get yourself that perfect thin consistency.
See how that big stick works good,
It does.
right?
Here. You go ahead. No, I'll take it. Don't worry. It does help when you do. Seriously, have it.
A big stick?
Yes. I wasn't trying to be saying
No,
stupid
I mean,
stuff, but
it
helps.
does. It works.
Because it gets your whole, it makes it even.
Doing good, Joey.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, I said I dabble a little bit in the pizza, you know.
And I have to do a little bit of showboating with my pizza skills.
So that's looking very good.
Now what?
You ready to cook this bad boy?
Yeah.
All right.
Like wax on a surfboard, you need to rub your pizza peel with some flour and cornmeal so the dough can glide on that paddle.
I'm so proud of you. Yours looks so beautiful.
I was trying.
You have experience,
Like
though,
I said,
so.
I've made many pizzas many times in my house, so I do have some skills with the pizza, but that's about it.
Okay.
And now for the fun part, the toppings. On goes the sauce, and while you can buy it in a jar,
Don't do that.
That's
Not-
terrible.
That's terrible. It's an insult.
That's a sin.
It is.
real Italians will tell you homemade is the only way to go.
So this is something just different that I like to do.
I'm loving
It's sweetness and it's all these different flavors. I think you're really gonna like.
Go ahead.
We toss in some fresh garlic, and then Lisa's secret weapon, honey.
This is something
And I
that
just
I've never
kind
seen.
of
I
like
like that.
sprinkle it around.
Time to cheese it up, people.
This is the mozzarella.
For the white people out there, they call it mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
We don't do a marinara sauce. It's just sauce.
A little fresh basil and a few dashes of olive oil, and this puppy is ready to cook.
I'm excited because I've never tried it with a twist of honey. So
Yeah.
So in the oven it goes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Now here's the tricky part. Getting the pizza from the paddle to the pizza stone is serious business. But with a little careful shimmying, in this pie goes, and it's only a few minutes until it's hot and ready.
Get ready, because here comes the pizza. Go ahead, go for it. She's getting it out now. It's a very delicate process. She's worked, she's got it, and there it is. Look at that. What? Bam. So the pizza is cut, and the only thing left to do is to eat it. Woohoo!
Yes.
So,
I got that one.
go ahead, I'll take this one. I like the honey.
You like it?
Yeah.
You taste it? It's perfect
It's
amount, right?
Yes, it's a little hint, but I like that. That's nice.
Definitely you can taste it.
What's great about it is why would you want to go call up a place and say, hey, deliver me a pizza when you're gonna make right at home and
Yeah.
it's simple. But I think we're gonna be making some dessert, aren't we?
Yes.
Sweet.
Panna cotta coming up.
I can't wait.
Panic Cotta coming up, kids.
That's right, kids. When we come back, Lisa finishes things off with panna cotta. This creamy Italian dessert is so easy to make, I'll probably make some during the break. But My Family Recipe Rocks returns. I've been having a blast cooking with Lisa and Deano. There's no shortage of cousinly love in this kitchen, and they've made me feel right at home around these traditional Italian dishes. We already made 2 fantastico appetizers and 1 excelente homemade pizza. All the bases are covered except dessert. So let's keep this Italian feast moving with another authentic recipe from everyone's favorite food-shaped nation.
Today for dessert, I'm making a classic Italian dessert. It's called panna cotta.
Panna cotta, which means cooked cream in Italiano, is a light and silky smooth dessert that you may have seen on the menu in fine Italian restaurants.
It's just delicious and it melts in your mouth and you're gonna love it.
But it's so easy to make. Who needs cloth napkins and an automatic 18% gratuity?
I've heard it, I've tried it,
Okay.
I've never made it, so this is a first for me.
Okay.
So people, pay attention. All right, here we go. What's the first step?
Okay, first step to the panna cotta, and the secret to making a really good panna cotta is you're gonna get heavy cream, but you want imported. You go Italian on this one.
Bairaghi. How do you say this?
Beraghi.
Sure.
It's time to get creamy. It all starts with 2 cups of imported Italian heavy cream, which you can find in specialty stores, and a cup of half and half.
And now we're gonna go to the stove and we're gonna heat this up.
Throw in some sugar and let the cream simmer while stirring so all of the sugar gets fully dissolved. In a separate bowl, add a packet of gelatin to 5 tablespoons of cold water and let it stand for about 5 minutes. Pour a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract in with the cream, stir it up, then mix it with the gelatin.
Now, if you will, I
Yep.
want you to pour this into the bowl.
Bam.
After a thorough stirring, carefully pour the mixture into small containers. Spilling a little is optional.
Beautiful.
Bam.
While the panna cotta chills in the fridge for a few hours, we concoct Lisa's special blueberry sauce topping. Just heat up some blueberries along with a bit of olive oil, sugar, and heavy cream, and ta-da! You get this warm, colorful, and totally tasty sugary goodness.
So these have been sitting here for 2 hours, chilling in the refrigerator, and we made the lovely blueberry sauce. How are we preparing this? What is the next step?
Okay, here's a toothpick.
Okay.
For each one, I want you to stick it in and just kind of
Go around.
go around. You're gonna flip it over here. And then we're just gonna get a sharp knife, and then you're gonna stick a little hole to let the air out.
And now for the moment of truth. Top it off with fresh berries and drizzle that blueberry saucy sauce on top.
And voila, we're done. Let's eat.
Simple and yet oh so effective.
Now, as a tasting, we're gonna go in there and we get a little bit of strawberry, something in there, whatever that is right there. Look at that.
Love it. You love it, Joey?
Yeah, it's like a whip. It's very sugary. It's just velvety smooth. It's almost like a whipped creamish kind of custard. I don't know, but it's in the blueberry with the strawberries and the raspberries. Bring this in right here. That was awesome.
Yay!
Unbelievable. Lisa, Deano, thank you guys so much for having me in your home and learning these wonderful Italian dishes that kind of brings a nice little slice of home for me. So thank you guys so much for having me again. And dude, dishes
you, Joe.
kicked butt. Give me
Thanks
a
for
hug.
coming.
Oh.
Thanks for rocking it
My
out.
pleasure, no problem. If you want to check out the recipes, all you have to do is go to the website, click on My Family Recipe Rocks, and the recipes are there, all right? Thank you again so much. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time on My Family Recipe Rocks. Woo! Bam!